Okay, why is it so chill? There we go. By the way, good morning, evening, afternoon, people. Hello, hello. How are you guys doing? Saints, TV, Rocknarts, Rocknart TSM. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Uh, Payne, Lucas, and everyone else. How you guys doing today? How you guys doing? What up? What up? Everybody got a restart PC? Gotcha. It's weekend! Oh shit! I'm good. How about you? I'm chillin'. Chillin' Dylan. Chillin' like a villain. It's finally weekend. Feels good, man. Did rework my OBS today and then rearrange my room. Ooh, okay. Pretty nice, pretty nice. That actually kind of reminded me that I need to rearrange my room as well. Damn it. Damn it. Or no, I'm done. Oh shit. Dude, I'm too lazy, man. Mods, rearrange my room, please. Ah! But I've been doing it for a while now. Just haven't. Huh? You have two mod checks? Wait, I do? Give me a sec. Mods! But what's my other mod check? Oh, right. The Halloween version. Hmm. I guess we can remove the Halloween. BTTV Overwatch 7 TV? Hmm. Uh. There you go. Thanks for reminding me. Sometimes emote overlap just. Because, I gotta manage literally 400 emotes across three different sites. So, overlap happens. Thanks for reminding me. What's the next sketch request? Probably after I finish this commission. Because currently this is my priority. Gotta finish this. And then I'm free again. I can do some commission and stuff. Basically. Yeah. Oh wait. Gonna look like Spirit from DBD? Huh? Is she? Well, the outfit is a Halloween theme, so there's that. But the characters is Aquila. Aquila's character. Very gorgeous. High gorgeous. Very gorgeous. Gonna play some Valo, so I'll just be looking. Okay, good luck. Go rank up. Oh my god. Okay, that one looks a lot more, well, horror. Like an actual horror one. That's cool though, holy shit. Does a rapper also indicate that she's a mummy? Or is it just like a different thing? This doesn't look like a mummy. She gets stabbed and sliced by her dad, and she's basically what's left. Jesus. Okay. Lord is fucked up. I mean, it's a horror theme game, so might as well commit to the whole theme. Oh la la. God damn. That's a nice art. I see. Just got back home from an event and I got 4 big packs Indomie. Holy! Someone's been hoarding some golds. Okay. Respect. Oh my god. Aquila! What's up? How you doing? Oops. Wow. How you doing? The little bud. No! God damn it! Don't worry. We'll come back. Been good. Just came home from business trip. Gonna go shopping in a bit. Oh hell yeah! Shopping time. Oh my god. Jesus. I had a pretty good meal earlier, but I think it's too much. So Mary cook. How many cooks? God. Ah, there it is. The little bud is back. So it's gonna be out. Hopefully. Getting there. Is that Crash Bandicoot? Yep. Watching Ice, her birthday today. Ooh! Happy birthday, Steve! Got on her after. Birthday! I just realized there's like a couple My friends have birthday on October. Bongga jiga. October, November, and December have like so many people have birthday around this last 3 months of the year. And interesting. What is your birthday chat? You guys also one of the last 3 months? It was in November, July 26th. Oh shit. I remember having for people that have a birthday on the mid of year, you're like in school. You basically have a birthday during the holidays. Fucking sick, dude. Like my brother have the birthday near the holiday as well, so we their present or I guess a gift is always like a trip to somewhere. Like god damn it. Well, because my holiday is not on the middle of the year. We didn't have like a long holiday, so we didn't really have like trips and shit. My brother's just like, "We're gonna go to this place. We're going to that place." I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm just there for the ride though. Like, holy shit. The last time I remember, we went to like ah fuck, was that kind of? It's kind of like a I I guess you could say like some kind of a Disneyland, but not Disney ish, like local shit. I'm like it fucking, I was like fucking 13. It's fucking awesome, man. Into those kind of places, honestly. But my favorite kind of like trips have to be go to like water parks. Oh my god. Water parks are fucking amazing, honestly. They're awesome. And I haven't been to the water park for years now. It's not a common thing. And I think water park is kind of, I don't know, a dying holiday place ever since the COVID as well, obviously. Not a lot of people go to those kind of places that much. I don't know about now, maybe, but back then, I don't think it's even an option. This place and that place. I know that sounds weird considering it's coming to a guy that cannot swim. But yeah, I don't know why. I do like water parks so much. It's because most of the rides are like adrenaline thingy thing. It's just kind of fun. Also, Scooch just makes it so much fun. I mean, hey. I mean, hey. You know what else causes adrenaline? Roller coaster. You should try. No, I am not going on a roller coaster. No. Oh shit, banger. Ooh. If saying hello to you? Oh shit. There's that little back. You're streaming right now, right? Yeah. Ah, Red Dead. What a good game. You hate roller coaster? I don't hate them. It's not a. It's not about hate. It's about how most of their rides kind of looks like fucking a dead toll. I don't fucking know, dude. I get it. It's fun. It's adrenaline kind of ride and shit like that, but there's something about roller coaster that just makes me different. I don't think I've ever ride a roller coaster, at least like the legit one, ever. There's only a specific ride that Red likes. Okay, shut the fuck. God damn it. Geig. A geig.
My favorite ride is probably riding your mom on bedcock.
Okay, alright, good one. Good one! Gotta change roller coaster time mode? No. No, 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 no. I want a certain sound in the song plays. And that's why I say they animate in the new NFS and they bring many the Crew 2 stuff in there. The Crew 2 stuff? Huh?
Wanna
As
hear something scary? British food.
okay, British food. Actually, I haven't watched it yet. We gotta check it out after this, on the React Andy section. Need for Speed. Also, talking about British food, is it actually that bad? Is British food actually that bad? Because I never went to the place, so I don't know how it is. Like, I know the stereotypical, the fucking egg Benedict shit, the fucking muffin, the beans. I don't know, it seems fine. Beans on toast, enough said. Okay, have you guys tried it though? It makes you, like don't like it. Cause I never had one before, so I cannot say anything. Although, as someone who have watched a lot of Korean Englishmen, pain, I can safe to say that it's not as good, as let's just say Asian cuisine is like a godsend for people in British, apparently. So I guess that's something. They're good English food, but it could say those good food are expensive. I see. Hmm. Okay, okay. I don't know. Maybe someday, if I have the chance, I will try the beans and stuff. Alright, time to go shopping. Stay warm, boys. Okay, have fun. And don't stare too much. Staring respectfully. When you're from when you're from a country that where food is your whole personality, Brits start to look like super villains. Jesus Christ, that's fucked up. Americans too. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why you busted on American out of nowhere? Americans, they have like the most. I guess it was popular, and then it became the most basic because burgers and all that kind of shit. I was about to say pizza, but I guess there is an American pizza, but there's Italian, the OG. But yeah, steaks, like one of the more American culture that I can get behind. I do like my steaks a little bit medium rare. They're pretty nice, so I can get behind that. American steak, you. Holy shit. American food in our stores have their own scheduled shelves so people won't mistake them for real food that doesn't kill you. Okay, good. God damn it. I feel like they're alright. Ooh, the guitar. Is this a song that I'm thinking? Oh my god, turn this up! Woo! American Beef is fun though. It's like a mystery meat. You never know what you're gonna get. It got me on the first half there. Not gonna lie. Baby, gonna get you. Baby, Bow bow. Okay. You. Do mine. Hey, gonna get you, space boy. Whoa, 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 whoa. You're using Spotify? Yup. Yup. Gonna get you, space boy. Can I not find it? Yeah, there you go. It's the whole purpose of this song. Command. You become my name. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, to be completely fair, that was made by Sudo. Alright. So, that was not me. Blame the mods. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ba, ba, da, ba, ba, da, ba. Da, 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 da. Oh, jammer. Jama alert. Yeah, there's a lot of questionable command in this channel. Not gonna deny on that. That's pretty. Yeah. It up again. Not out of time. Stay true. It's true. Your comments aren't the only thing questionable. Like 90% of your clips are saying some variation of fuck my ass. Listen, it's one of my swearing, okay? Don't judge me. I forget who I picked that up from. Is it Lyric? I don't know. I don't remember. I picked it up from someone as well. I forgot. No, not Lyric. Lyric the streamer. It's either Lyric or Asman. That's true. Asman also said that a lot. Fuck me in the ass! Cock! I did not pick up the cock. Thank God. Yeah, he said a lot of that. Oh my. Yeah, don't blame me. You can just tune into Asman's stream, and just wait in like 30 minutes. You'll hear a random cock. Oh, Moon also do that as well. Fuck. Moon swears
Daddy.
a lot of weird shit. Sabadian. Boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, boom, boom. Well, as expected from a CEO of the Spacecock computer company, you know. I don't blame him. Was it Spacecock or Cock and Bulls Space? Yeah, it's something like that. God damn it. Peacock. You know, Asmon's PC building company's logo. A lot of people make fun of it because it looks like a a cock, a penis, a penis space computer company. Taunted. Exactly. I mean, hold up. Let me show you the fucking logo and tell me. Bing bang. Now you guys can look at this yourself and tell me, how is this supposed to be a goddamn hammer? No, it's a
Cock. We are
penis.
just talking about cock at Hadian 115.
Yeah, exactly. It's a space penis. Oh my god. But yeah. It makes it even worse because Linus, you know, Linus Tech Tips guy, Linus Tech Tips, reviewed the whole company PC building shit, and he makes fun of it even more. Why does the logo look like a penis? Does this look like a penis to you guys? Yeah, it looks like a penis. Yeah, what the hell? It's just like fucking roasted the shit out of their fucking logo in front of like millions of viewers on YouTube. What's up, Alu? How you doing? So yeah, I don't know. I got a feeling they're probably gonna change the logo sometime soon. Not soon, soon, but probably gonna do it in the future. Cause of it, or at least modify it a little bit so it looks less of a penis shape. Oh, oh, hold up. Oh, yeah. Oh, what is it? Satan's got a daily cat alert. Oh my god. What? Let's see. That's audio. Oh my fucking god. Why is it so? What the fuck? I know cats like to do that. Why the? What? Why is it so aggressive? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know why cats like to do it. They like to be upside down under a fucking bed or sofa. Oh my god, look at that. So cute. Aww. Alright, thank you for the daily cat supplements. Uh, Take care, Alu. Thanks for stopping by. In the army right now. Oh shit. Good luck, man. Best of luck.
Cat cock, cat cock, cat cock, cat cock, cat cock, cat cock.
Well done. They're auditioning for The Grudge. Mm. Have you seen Elisa's new song, by the way? No? How to keep up with her songs, actually. Is it good? Is it good? It's good, yeah, but not her best, though. Fun to listen. Link it, link it. Been a few of the other news songs from other of my favorite artists as well. Uh, is it this one? Oh, wait, is this one? This was even new. Yeah, there's even a newer one. Ooh, that harmony. Okay, upbeat that shit out of nowhere. Holy shit. What's that? It's a video. Hold up. Ooh, I do like the tempo in this one. That's nice. Da, da. Kind of got that anime opening vibe. Suddenly, just like, oh, where's the other? Yeah, there's so many new releases from other artists that I followed. Hold up, what is?
Bam! We catch ourselves a baby hammerhead. Look at him. He's so cool. Bam!
Okay.
Catch ourselves a baby hammerhead. Look at him. He's so cool. Bam!
Yeah. What the fuck? So random. Yeah. Oh my god. Talking about new releases. Oh god, I almost forgot. I haven't listened to Arctic Monkeys' new release. After this. This one's Deadmau5's new single for the unfortunate canceled Resident Evil TV series. But hey, it's a good ass fucking song. I'm not complaining. My heart has teeth. My heart has teeth. My heart has teeth. My heart has teeth. Woo! My heart has teeth. My heart has. My heart has. And going back to the groove. God, Such a cool song. Such a cool sounding song. Okay. Whoa. Okay. This is so different from the usual Arctic Monkeys. Bam bam bam. Woo! God damn. The other song I listen to is "Do I Want to Know." It is like really good song from them, but this this is very different. on your legs, on your arms. Oh, okay. Yeah. Woo! Oh, God. That's a delicious, delicious lick. Okay, hold up. There's another one. Okay. Mm. Ooh. Boom, boom. Okay. Like a very slow love song kind of. Hmm. I'm gonna listen to some Arctic Monkeys. Going on a ride, chat. Imagination inside. Up and wait a sec. Promise you, oh, you. Perfect. Guitar time. Oh, these songs have not even song, the whole album. Some nice riffs. Seems like once again you have readmitted goodbye. My imagination lying outside your aisle. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh my god, I want to pick up my guitar. Bap, 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 ba-da-da. Ba, 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 ba. Now you only get it in your nightdress. It's got it for the naughty, nice finesse. And in a very common crisis, everything's an order in a black hole. Not to the passy the past though. The bloody mare's like in a Tabasco. Remember when you used to be a rascal? All the boys are slag. The best you ever had, best you ever had is a memory and those dreams. It was just as they seem. This daft as they seem, my love, when you dream it up. Guessing that she rather just forget it. Pencil's not metal, pencil. All the boys are slag. The best you ever had, the best you ever had is just the memories and those dreams. As daft as they seem, my love, when you dream them up, oh Flo. Where did you go? Oh yeah, it's not done. I just want to give some depths first. Last of last laugh like we just found out coming back again. Everything cold. Nothing is a pity as a past though. Remember you used to be a rascal. Ba-da-do-do-do. Hmm. Ba-dow. Finally, lady, not obsessing decide. It's much less picturesque without a catching light. The horizon tries, but it's just not as kind on the eye. Sarabelle, Sarabelle. Oh, sure. Ba, 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 ba. Ba-dow. Oh my god, wrong layer. Ah. Just catching. You've catch. Ba ba bam. Cat. Bishop. Wow wow. Bam, 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 bam. Looking good. Oh my god. My back. Oh, this one's gonna go fast. To turn you down, up to summer, like out of my stomach. Fish. Story might be a. They say changes when the sun goes down. They say it changes when the sun goes down. Around here. Around here. Ba ba da ba. See them. Fucking. They said it changes when the sun goes down. Around here. Oh. I mean. Bling. Alright. What time is this? 9:07. Okay. Got 30 minutes. Change the vibe of this. Try. Oh, I forgot. Oh! Jeez, I haven't heard that alert for a while. Kuromi underscore 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 underscore. Thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? What up? What up? Hmm. Boop, 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 boop. Hmm. Okay.